Emotional attachment is one of the most powerful forces that govern our lives. It binds us to people, to memories, and to illusions that in many cases no longer serve us, or worse, they harm us. But what if the reason you can't let go has nothing to do with the other person and everything to do with you? What if the person you're truly clinging to is not them, but a part of yourself? Carl Jung taught us that attachment isn't merely an emotional bond. It is a projection of our psyche. We don't cling to people because we genuinely need them, but because they reflect unconscious aspects of ourselves. This is a profound idea because when we are unable to let go of someone who doesn't love us, what we are actually doing is rejecting a part of our own being. Jung discovered that the human psyche is composed of multiple facets, many of which remain in the shadow, the repository of our repressed emotions, desires, and traumas. This shadow is precisely what makes us hold on to relationships that don't nurture us. Deep down, it is not the person themselves that keeps us bound, but the part of ourselves that we project onto them. When we love someone who does not love us back, what we are truly doing is seeking external validation for something we have not yet found within ourselves. This is the trap of attachment. It deceives us into believing that our happiness depends on someone else. In reality, what we seek is the integration of our own psyche. Therefore, letting go of someone who doesn't love us is not merely an act of detachment. It is a profound journey of self-discovery. It's not about forgetting the person or suppressing the pain, but about understanding why that connection was so significant for us. Jung stated that what we deny within ourselves appears externally as destiny. If we repeatedly find ourselves in relationships where we are not reciprocated, it is not a coincidence. It is a manifestation of something deeper. It's a lesson that our psyche is trying to teach us. Perhaps it stems from a childhood wound, a fear of loneliness, or a limiting belief about our own worth. Until we confront that shadow, we will continue attracting the same patterns repeatedly. This is where Jung's method for emotionally detaching becomes essential. The first step is to recognize the projection. Ask yourself, what part of myself am I seeing in this person? Maybe you are drawn to their confidence, independence, or passion for life. Instead of viewing these qualities as external, Jung invites you to integrate them within yourself. If you are attached to someone because you admire their self-assurance, perhaps it is time to cultivate your own confidence. If you cannot let go of a person because they make you feel special, ask yourself why you are unable to give that love to yourself. The second step is to confront the shadow. Jung emphasized that what we do not face within our psyche becomes our fate. If you always end up in relationships where you feel undervalued, there might be a part of you that believes you do not deserve more. Perhaps that belief originates from a childhood experience, a distant parent, or a past love that left deep wounds. But the past does not have to define you. True transformation occurs when you dare to look inward and heal those wounds yourself. Instead of expecting someone else to do it for you, the third step is individuation. Carl Jung described individuation as the process of becoming your true self beyond the expectations of others. It is a profound journey of self-discovery that requires you to release anything not aligned with your essence. Part of this process involves letting go of people who do not reciprocate your love, not because you are unworthy, but because their path is simply different from yours. Trying to force a connection where there is no reciprocity is like attempting to fit a puzzle piece where it does not belong. Individuation means understanding that some people enter our lives for a season, serving as teachers who reveal the lessons we need to learn. True detachment is not an act of coldness or indifference. It is an act of deep understanding. You come to realize that another person is not the source of your happiness, but a mirror reflecting something within you that requires integration. True love is not about dependency. It is about freedom. Letting go is not about losing. It is about creating space for something more aligned with your true self. At this point, many people fear the emptiness that comes with detachment. However, Jung taught that emptiness is not something to fear, but a sacred space where new things can take root and flourish. When you release a relationship that doesn't truly belong to you, what you are actually doing is opening yourself to the possibility of something greater. But the universe cannot bring you something new if you are still clinging to the old. It is in that very emptiness where true transformation occurs. This is where you rediscover yourself, not as someone seeking completion in another, but as someone who is already whole. Something magical happens when you stop seeking love outside of yourself. You begin to radiate love from within. You no longer need external validation because you recognize your own worth. You no longer hold on to one-sided relationships because you value your peace more than the exhausting struggle to be seen. In that moment, the right people begin to arrive, people who love you for who you truly are, not for what you provide. Emotional detachment does not mean ceasing to love. It means learning to love without fear, without expectations, and without chains. It is the realization that love is not possession, but freedom. When you understand this, you see that you never truly lost anything. You only released what was never truly yours to begin with. When Jung spoke about the transformation of the psyche, it was not referring to a superficial change, but to a deep metamorphosis. Letting go is not merely about ending a relationship. It is about being reborn as a new, more conscious and stronger version of yourself. There are no shortcuts in this process. Emotional detachment is an internal journey that requires courage, patience, and self-compassion. But in the end, the outcome is worth it, because when you dare to release what does not belong to you, you discover something far more valuable. Your self-doubt as you begin to let go. You realize that attachment was never truly love. It was a form of fear. Fear of being alone, fear of not being enough, fear of losing something that was never really yours. But Jung teaches us that fear is merely an illusion, a barrier that prevents us from accessing our true potential. When you face that fear, something shifts within you. You discover that solitude is not a punishment, but an opportunity to reconnect with yourself. You realize that the absence of another does not create a void, but a space for something better to enter your life. The problem with attachment is that it makes us dependent on something external for a sense of completeness. But Jung reminds us that nothing external can give us what we truly seek. Everything you need, peace, love, security, happiness, is already within you. When you deeply feel this, detachment stops being an effort and becomes a natural consequence. Letting go does not mean forgetting, erasing memories, or denying what you felt. It means accepting what was, learning the lesson, and moving forward. Carl Jung once said that the unconscious speaks to us through symbols and experiences, and that every relationship is a reflection of something much deeper within us. Every person who enters your life carries a meaning, a lesson, a mirror of your inner world. If someone arrives and then leaves, it is not a mistake or a loss. It is an experience designed to teach you something fundamental about yourself. Once the lesson has been learned, there is no reason to remain shackled to the past. The problem arises when we get trapped in pain, in nostalgia, in the endless loop of what if. Jung reminds us that the past cannot be altered. It can only be understood. And once you truly understand it, you liberate yourself from it. There is no greater act of self-love than releasing what no longer resonates with you, because in doing so, you are choosing yourself, but your mind will resist. It will tell you that you can't let go, that you need that person, that without them nothing will be the same. But ask yourself, do you feel love or is it dependence? Love does not hurt. Love does not make you feel less, and it does not keep you trapped in an endless cycle of waiting. If it causes pain, it is because there is a wound that still needs healing, and that healing will not come from external sources. It can only emerge from within. When you finally decide to let go, you begin to see life from an entirely new perspective. You start to realize that people do not enter your life randomly. They arrive as reflections of something within you. When a relationship ends, it is not the end. It is the beginning of a new cycle. But for a new cycle to truly begin, you must be willing to close the previous one, not with resentment or sorrow, but with gratitude. Gratitude for what was, for what you learned, and for the growth that it allowed you to experience. True freedom is not about having no attachments at all, but about loving without possession, giving without expectation, and being present without dependence. It is understanding that you can share your life with someone without making them the absolute center of your existence. It is realizing that love is not a chain. It is a state of being. When you reach this level of understanding, you discover that the person you needed the most was always yourself. There are no shortcuts to detachment, no magic formulas to release the past. It is a process of deep transformation, of facing yourself, and questioning the belief you have carried your entire life. But once you cross that barrier, nothing is ever the same again. You stop suffering over what is left and start trusting in what is yet to come. You stop searching for love in others and begin cultivating it within yourself. In that moment, the right people begin to enter your life, not because you need them, but because you are finally in a place of completeness. Jung explained that. The unconscious does not distinguish between what benefits us and what harms us. It simply seeks to repeat patterns. If for years you have believed that love means sacrifice, that happiness depends on someone else, or that without that person, you are not enough, then your mind will do everything possible to keep you trapped in that belief. The process of emotional detachment is not just about letting go of a person. It is about unlearning all those limiting beliefs that have governed your life. It is not the absence of that person that hurts, but the story you built in your mind about what they meant to you. These are just illusions created by a mind that has not yet discovered its true freedom. Attachment is not love. It is a form of emotional dependency that stems from the belief that something external will complete us. But Jung shows us that real love is not a pursuit. It is a state of being you cultivate within yourself. That is why, instead of focusing on what you lost, you should ask yourself, what part of me needs to heal? The pain does not come from the person who left, but from the part of your psyche that you have yet to integrate. That feeling of emptiness, that anxiety, that fear of being alone, none of that has to do with the other person. It has everything to do with you. Letting go of someone who does not love you is not an act of loss. It is an act of self-love. It is telling yourself that you deserve more, that your energy is valuable, and that you do not need to beg for anyone's affection. This is not about ignoring the pain or pretending you don't care. It is about accepting it as part of the process. Jung said that the only way to transcend suffering is to go through it. At first it hurts because you are breaking a pattern, but with each passing day, you move closer to your true freedom. Something profound happens when you allow yourself to let go. Clarity arrives, answers appear, and you realize something you could not see before. Peace is not in holding on, it is in letting go. In that moment, you begin to live from your true essence, without fear, without burdens, without emotional chains tying you to the past. When you let go, you free yourself. You stop waiting for messages, analyzing every detail, and wondering what you did wrong. You understand that love is not begged for, that respect is not demanded, and that the most important person in your life has always been you. This doesn't mean you'll never love again, but the next time you will do so from a different place, not from need, but from wholeness. True detachment is an internal transformation in which you stop being who you were and become who you were always meant to be. When you look back and see how much you have grown, you will understand that you never really lost anything. You only found yourself. When you finally managed to let go, you realize that true love was never about holding on to someone else, but about the relationship you have with yourself. You learn that you do not need anyone's validation to feel complete. You begin to see life from a new perspective, not from lack, but from abundance. Not from the fear of losing, but from the confidence that everything meant for you will arrive at the right moment. Letting go of someone who does not love us is one of the hardest things we can do, but it is also one of the most liberating. It is not just about releasing a person. It is about reclaiming ourselves. It is about understanding that the love we seek externally can only be truly fulfilled when we find it within. According to Jung, true healing is not about simply letting go. It is about integration. It is not about erasing memories or suppressing emotions, but rather about accepting what has been lived and embracing it with gratitude. When you understand this, anguish transforms into peace, attachment into freedom, and suffering into wisdom. This is the great paradox of love. It is only when you no longer seek it from a place of lack that it truly comes to you in its purest form. When you stop searching for someone to complete you, you begin to attract genuine connections, relationships, built on resonance rather than necessity. This kind of love can only arise when you have learned to be at peace with yourself, when you have healed the wounds of the past, and when you have allowed yourself to release what no longer belongs to you. In the end, life is not about clinging to what causes you pain, but about flowing with what helps you grow. If this message resonated with you, I want to invite you to do something profoundly powerful. Share this video with someone who needs it, just as much as you did. Think about it. How many people do you know who are struggling right now? You have the power to be the catalyst for their change. You have the ability to light the way for someone else. Leave me a comment down below and tell me what part of this message impacted you the most. Your words might inspire others. Your reflections could be exactly what someone else needs to read at this very moment. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I warmly invite you to do so right now and activate the notification bell. Together, we are creating something bigger than ourselves, a conscious community, a gathering of souls who seek to evolve. Remember, the change you are looking for outside of yourself has always been within you. You are not broken, you are not incomplete, and you do not need to be fixed. You only need to remember who you truly are, free, whole, and capable of creating the life you deserve. Thank you for being a part of this community. I'll see you in the next video, and remember, true love begins when you learn to choose yourself first.